Hi everybody, it's Yvonne here again, and I'm in here to show you this beautiful card. It's going to have a little bit of glare, but I just put just a note, and it's a masculine card, and I will show you how I made this simple, easy, quick, and I hope you like it. So stick around because it's going to start right now. Okay, so what you're going to need for this particular card is you're going to need a piece of cardstock. I chose the Night of Navy from Stampin' Up. I just love their cardstock, always have. It's something that I've been using for years. So I'm going to use a piece of cardstock. This is obviously a 4 1/4 by 11 folded in two, which makes you a 5 1/2 by 11 card base. So I've scored it. I've not scored it, but I mean I've folded my crease, and I have my base card ready to go. Okay, step number one. Step number two, I have a Indigo Craft and Rose Gold paper craft from DCWV paper craft, and I have a lot of it that's gone, but I still have a few that are lingering on. And one of the pieces that I decided to take today was this beautiful piece, and it's all embedded with gold. It's so pretty, but the gold is almost like a rose gold. Well, it is a rose gold, but almost a copper rose gold. So pretty. So I decided it would fit so well to make a beautiful card for a mail. Therefore, I am going to cut a piece of this, and to speed up things, I've already cut it at, here I have it at 3 3/4. Can't really see that on the camera, but 3 3/4 here. And I'm going to take 1/4 inch off because here I have 5 1/4. I am going to cut it back at 5. Okay, and then I am going to take this, and if you're, by the way, this is just a little tip, but let's say your edges happen to start getting a little flimsy on you. I have it just a bit, I don't know if you can really see it there. Just take a nail file from the dollar store there and just kind of do this. It smooths out your cardstock and all the little ripples that you would find on a piece that your blade isn't cutting clean. Sometimes it'll leave a little bit of a ruffle there. Comes right off, no problem at all. Another piece that I'm going to use in this case is my favorite thing, and it's from my favorite thing. It's something that I purchased from the store, and this one here is Copper Shine. But I'll tell you, you can't tell the difference between this rose gold and this Copper Shine. So to me, it's just a name, because I can't tell the difference. Maybe you will, but I cannot. And I am going to cut myself a piece. Oh, I thought I had a piece here, but I guess not. So we're going to cut ourselves up. I'm going to try to cut some pieces ahead of time. Excuse all the noise there. Try to cut ahead of time in order to make it quicker. Now I'm going to cut a piece at 5 1/4. So I'm going to cut this down at 5 1/4. And I am going to cut this at 4. So 5 1/4 by 4. Which is 1/4 inch bigger than this piece, but also 1/4 inch smaller than the base of the card, like so. So what I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to adhere, or I could build it up. This one here, I added some dimensionals, but I am going to adhere this to the back of that, like this. Whoop. And I don't know if you can see this real well, but this is the gold shimmer, and I'm going to add that on top like so. Really simple, guys. It really doesn't matter whether the arrows were up or down. It's still going to work really well. And then for the next part, I'm going to take this die set. I believe, I'm not sure if I bought this from My Favorite Thing. I've had these for so long. But there's a canoe, the paddle, the little log, and I dug out another, just a note, just for my stash. So with this, I am going to find myself some pieces of cardstock here. This one here should do my canoe and my paddles, and this should do just a note. And stay with me because I will be right back, and I'm going to put these through my cutter. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Cut out all my pieces here, and I'm just going to poke this one out. Very simple. There you go. Add that back. If any of you like this type of die cut, but don't have one, I'm sure if you Google canoe or boat or anything like this, something will pop out and you should be able to find it. I believe I had purchased it either scrapbook.com or someplace. I've had it for so long that kind of slips my mind, you know. It's just like these little word dies. I've had these for so long that, again, it's to remember where I got them from. But I do use them regularly, and it goes to show. You get something you like, you're going to use it. And this here, you can use it at for so many different things. Okay, so where I left you, we had built the base here. So what I did with this, you can do different things. I have this little Xyron right here that I love, that I just have to add it in like this, and I pull it out, but use any type of glue that you want. If you wish to, you could use a liquid glue, you could use your tape gun, you can use whatever adhesive you've got, two-way tape. Whatever you have will work. It's just a matter of what you have that you like. And as crafters, we always have a lot of things that we like. So now I'm going to place my boat approximately the same place as I added the other one. And I have two paddles right here. And for the paddles, I'm not going to bother putting it through here. I'm just going to show you how you can use either a gun or you can use your liquid glue. I'm going to use one for the gun, like this. And all I do at this point is just roll the extra tape underneath, like that. And I'm going to lay that paddle flat about there. Okay? So, there you go. Give it a little bit of rub to take off the extra glue there. I don't want it to show. There you go, that's that one. And now on this one, let me show you how easy it is. I like to always add a piece of paper underneath here, just for protection, not to have it. I'm a little sloppy when I work, say the least. And I do not like to have it all over my glass. Although my glass is easy to clean, that's why I bought it. I don't want it to rub, and I don't want to stuck. You get my drift. You're a crafter. You understand. So now I'm going to put the other one. Now this one here, I added it a little different than the other one. Now that I look at my other part, I have the two paddles going onto the canoe as such, which this one here, I leaned in next to the post. So I suppose it really doesn't matter. So I'm going to add some more glue. And this, by the way, is my Zig Memory Stick glue. If you're part of the Canada Craft group, Sandy, which is, I call her Chief in Command, she's a great person from BC. She does have supplies that she supplies us with. And she has this type of paper. And she also has that, this is whom I purchased this particular Indigo Craft Rose Gold from DCWV. So if you are part of our Canadian group, craft group, please make mention, go see her, and she'll be happy and very easy to deal with, and very inexpensive if you are part of our membership. She gives us a little bit of a discount, which is very super nice, because here in Canada it is expensive. No matter where you are, crafts are expensive. But Sandy, because of the love for the craft, tends to help us out a little bit that way. And she is a super girl, fast delivery, you know, and you just cannot vouch for anything better than Sandy and the rest of our group. It's a non-dramatic group, just a fun group. We do swaps, and I've been in the group now for a few years, and it's just a lot of fun. The girls are super nice, super supportive. We have talent from beginners to people who sell on Etsy, and everybody's okay with everything, you know? We're just like that. What can I say? You can see as I'm talking as I'm going along, but I think you can see what I am doing. I'm just adding on my sentiment here on the front. And the reason I keep it general is sometimes I don't, but on this point, I'm keeping it simple is because I can decide at a later point, do I want this as a birthday? Do I want this as a congratulation on the job? Just a note to say congratulations, just a note to say happy birthday, just a note. Just a note is such a really nice, simple saying that, you know, it's so easy to make that, what can I say? It goes for anything, for a mail card. And while I was cutting, I took one of my rectangular stitch sides. This again, I bought, I think from, I think this one here comes from Stampin' Up, to be truthful. It's a 4 by 5 by 3.5. And I've had that set for so many years but I believe it was Stampin' Up that I bought it from. We used to get together once a month, a bunch of girls, at this demonstrator's house up the road, and we used to have a great time laughing and making cards and doing all kinds of good stuff, telling good stories, and unfortunately she moved away, but that's okay. Made a friend out of it, and a nice friend. Now what I like to do, and what I did here, just to add a bit of spice inside, a little bit of color to match on the outside, is I added a bit of trim. Now this is a vanilla cardstock from Stampin' Up. I love their cardstock. That's mostly what I use because they're hard. To me, it's one of the best. And I have tried others, like My Favorite Thing and whatever, but cost-wise, for me, Stampin' Up, to get it here is a lot less expensive, as in My Favorite Thing, for an example. So, and My Favorite Thing is a good cardstock. There, I was looking for something and I couldn't finish my word. So I just take a piece of whatever I had left over like that. You know, it doesn't have to be exactly the right size. You know, I had a piece here. You know, I'm just going to pull it back enough to kind of center it on the bottom. It's just, you know, and even if I didn't have any copper, that would add enough to please me anyway. But since I do have the copper here, I'm just going to take my little cutter that I purchased on Amazon. I love my little Fisker. And I love this little guy. He's just big enough for the odd thing. My only disappointment is that it's only 4 inches. So most pieces I work with are bigger than that. But I still use it all the time. It just saves me from taking out my humongous Fisker slicer up here. I do also have a guillotine, that's what that is, a little guillotine cutter. It's beautiful, works. I had no intention of buying it until I saw it, and I thought, oh, that would be nice on my desk, or if I go to a crop, or And you know what? I wouldn't trade it for the world. I use it probably as much as I do, as long as I don't work with a 12 by 12 sheet of cardstock. I am good to go. What can I say? How quick is that? So, at this point, all I'm going to do is add dimension. You can add the dimension you like, or you can leave it just as is. That's entirely up to you. But normally what I do is I'll just take a piece of either 3D foams, or I'll cut myself up a piece like this. Just as simple as that. Again, this is the TM trademark roll, foam, double-sided foam roll, and 3M. And I'll tell you, this was like this big, you know, like it was humongous. And I had paid $50 online for it. And I've had that for probably, with no exaggeration, with everything that I do, I bet you I've had that roll for at least 2 years. Oh my gosh, 2-3 years. Yeah, easy. It just doesn't seem to be an end to it. But, and I will be repurchasing it as soon as I run out, or get close to it, because I got Prime, so it can get delivered the next day. And that is it, my friends. I just add that on here, and I just love the final product. How gorgeous is that for a male, or if you're, I live on next to the ocean here, but if you have a female that likes to fish, hey, that's a nice card too. But I just don't know for sure. I know Surfer the Glare, but it's just the kind of paper that you use, and or I use, I should say, and I leave my sentiments open inside, as I say. Most cases I'll handwrite just because I find it's more personal, but if I am going to stamp a sentiment inside my cards, I do not normally do it unless I make a card, especially for a certain person, for a special event or whatever. Then I know what I'm going to put inside. But other than that, I leave it blank, and when I'm ready to pick a card to give away to someone, I add the sentiment to the person, or to the, I should say this, the event that it's going to go to. This is Yvonne. I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial. If you do like it, please spread the word around. I'd like to build up my YouTube fans or whatever. You know, I'd love to have you. If you like what you see, please click the like button. That would be nice, so they don't kick me out. And if, you know, share the video if you think it's helpful to someone else. But most of all, be happy, enjoy life, and we'll catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.